Winter is here, and for most students, it's not like any other season. It's a season of traps. Mornings that drag on, cold blankets, and that comforting lie. I'll start tomorrow. Then the days blur together. A quick internet search, a nap, and another excuse. But for some, it won't be a season of rest. It will be a season of rebirth. Those 90 days that silently change everything. Because while everyone else sleeps, you'll be awake. Not just physically, but mentally too. And you'll also start developing good habits, sharpening your focus, and quietly accumulating small steps forward. This is your winter story arc, the quiet chapter no one sees, but the one that will decide everything. They'll see it next year. So let's be honest, winter seems like the perfect excuse to slow down. It's cold, you're tired, and bed is heaven. You tell yourself, I'll study after lunch, maybe after one last episode. But here's the thing, time doesn't care about your comfort, and the semester doesn't stop because it's snowing outside, and exams won't wait for you to be motivated. And the truth is, most students are going to waste the next 90 days. Not out of laziness, but because they underestimate the power of this short period. They tell themselves, it's only a few months. I'll get back on track in the new year. But by the time the new year arrives, they've already lost their rhythm and their confidence. The result? Another year of average grades, disrupted routines, and the same old cycle of guilt. But if you look at this, you already sense something different. You know this could be your turning point. The psychology of winter. Let me explain why this season is more important than you think. Because winter has a particular psychological power. It slows everything down. The days seem shorter, motivation drops, and everyone seems to move in slow motion. But that's precisely why this season offers you a considerable advantage. When everyone else is asleep, that's when your progress accelerates. Because progress isn't just about effort, it's also about contrast. If you study for 3 hours while others are doing nothing, you're not just 3 hours ahead, you're ahead in terms of momentum. So here's your chance to transform those quiet, monotonous days into your most productive season yet, the 90-day challenge. Let's call a spade, your winter challenge. For the next 90 days, your mission is simple: to quietly improve while the world sleeps. Here's how to do it. First, set a wake-up time. Forget the 5 a.m. rule. No need to go to extremes. The important thing is consistency. Choose a time that works for you. 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., it doesn't matter, and stick to it. The goal isn't to get up early, but to be present every day. No excuses, no compromises. Second, the golden hour rule. Every morning, before even touching your phone, dedicate an hour to your most important topic or objective, because this hour sets the tone for your entire day. Third, block social media. Winter impairs your concentration, and the constant scrolling makes it disappear even faster. So take back control. Delete apps and block distractions, or set strict limits for yourself. You won't miss out. In fact, every moment you reclaim brings you closer to your goal and your progress. Fourth, the weekly reflection. Every Sunday, take a moment to reflect and ask yourself, what did I actually learn this week? What held me back or what slowed me down? And most importantly, what can I do differently next week to improve? This simple habit transforms every small step into real and irresistible progress. Fifth, the evening routine. End your day by preparing for the next. Get your books ready, organize your schedule, and go to bed early. Do this regularly, and tomorrow you'll silently thank yourself for the discipline you established tonight. The power of small victories. You don't need to change everything. You just need to change something each day. Study for 30 minutes more, read an extra page, and do one more exercise. These small changes may seem insignificant today, but over 90 days, they create irresistible momentum. It's like snow. Snowflake by snowflake, mountains are formed. That's how habits are created. That's how confidence grows. And when you start to see progress, suddenly that same winter that made you lazy transforms into energy. You realize that warmth isn't in the blanket, but in the momentum. Why most students fail? Now, let's look at the other side of the coin. Why 90% of students fail to build that arc? It's not for lack of intelligence, because they're looking for motivation rather than methods. They're waiting for the perfect mood, the perfect time, the perfect playlist, and the perfect setup. But perfection is just another word for procrastination. The winners know this. Motivation fades, but discipline remains. The real transformation begins the moment you stop bargaining with yourself. So stop asking yourself, do I want to study? Start saying, it's time to study. No drama, no excuses, just calm execution. Be present every day, even when it's difficult, because you're not just creating habits, you're reprogramming your mind to make it stronger, more focused, and unstoppable. The isolation phase. Winter also brings isolation, less sun and fewer outings, also more time alone. While for most this is depressing, for you it's an opportunity, because solitude develops self-awareness, and self-awareness brings clarity. While others are distracted by the silence, you will use this silence to understand your path. Take a moment to ask yourself, what am I truly striving for? And what kind of life do I want in a year? And finally, what do I need to give up? How do I get there? Because winter offers you the space you need to reflect deeply and recharge mentally and emotionally. This isolation isn't a punishment, but your training ground. The midterm slump. Let's be honest, around the 4th or 5th week, you'll feel like giving up. The initial enthusiasm will fade, and you'll miss a day, then 2. Guilt will overwhelm you. But remember, this slump is part of the process. Every transformation has a phase of stagnation. This is where most people stop, but it's also where growth truly begins. Overcome this slump because once you get past it, discipline becomes automatic. The moment of rebirth. Imagine, it's October. The cold is fading and exams are approaching. While everyone else is panicking, cramming at the last minute, and rushing around, you're not, because you've been secretly building your arc. While others slept, you were accumulating good habits. While they were spending their time on social media, you were mastering focus. While they were complaining about their motivation, you were creating the necessary momentum. Now you're not only prepared, but also serene. You know what to do, when to do it, and how to get results. And when the results come, you won't need to boast. Your growth will speak for itself. Here's the reward for your winter retreat. Reflection. Here's a powerful idea to ponder. Every year, we live through a few short chapters that define the next chapter of our story. For students, winter is one of them. It's a quiet, solitary, and sometimes uncomfortable time, but that's precisely what makes it so valuable. If you can master your mind in winter, you can overcome any obstacle in your life. Because once you learn to work without intrinsic motivation, you cease to be controlled by your moods, the weather, or excuses. You become self-reliant, and that's what separates winners from the rest. So here's my challenge for you. For the next 90 days, stop seeking comfort and seek regularity. Then create your own winter retreat. Get up at the same time every day and study before sunrise. And most importantly, disconnect from your phone. Finally, take a moment to reflect every Sunday. No need to post your reflections. No need to talk about them with anyone. Just do it in silence, because it's in silence that authentic reflections flourish. And when spring arrives, the world will discover a version of yourself you won't even recognize. While everyone else says, "I'll start after winter," you'll smile quietly and say, "I've already started." So if this video has inspired you, don't move on to something else. Start your winter arc.